Diff.
Bye.
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 Death by Daylight.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody, and
And
welcome to another episode of Death by Daylight. We're gonna keep calling them episodes, even though they're like streams. Am I gone again?
No, you're good.
You were
Oh my
gone.
God.
You were for like.
You were gone,
Um,
like the night in the wind after a long campfire story.
as soon as you guys don't fucking hear me, just put it like if you can. If you're not in the middle
Assume
of
you're
killing
dead.
somebody, put me. Yeah, assume it. I'm dead. Exactly.
Got you.
Um,
Good to me.
always the worst case scenario. Immediately.
Where's Josh? He's fucking dead.
He's
Hey
dead.
guys, I just wanted to take a
He's
piss real
fucking
quick.
dead,
Come
just
back.
like the
Oh,
dog.
I thought you died.
My dog.
Don't do that to me.
So we are we're live, and if you're here, thank you for hanging out. I'm gonna keep reminding people to hit the like button until we get to 50, so just deal with it. And yeah, so if you're here, what? Go ahead.
Follow button. Hit the
Oh
follow.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, I forget follow button. Yeah, so go ahead and hit that follow button. It does us a lot of good. It helps us out quite a bit. So, but anyway, today we are with the different members, the original 3 members of Death by Daylight. I am joined here today by Ernie.
Hey, everybody. How is it going on this beautiful Sunday?
I am here with Jesus.
What up? What up? It's been a while. How y'all been?
We're extremely glad to have Jesus back on the pod for us with us this week. Michelle, unfortunately, could not be here this week.
She's
And
dead.
so
I'm just kidding.
we are glad to have Jesus in, well, I guess his place. And today we're doing campfire stories. They're not super long. There is some I'm gonna do some history. I'm gonna do where do campfire stories come from other than the campfire, and what makes a campfire story. But very briefly, a lot of what we're going to be doing today, not the stories briefly, but the history and stuff. What we're going to be doing today is hanging out and watching some Dead by Daylight on Death by Daylight. We're going to be taking it easy on the Sunday afternoon. I'm not drinking right now. So I don't know. Are you guys having anything to drink?
I am drinking an Arizona sweet tea.
Delicious. That actually sounds amazing.
That's what I said when I saw it right now at the store.
What about you, Jesus?
I'm drinking a Bang Energy drink. Let's go,
Of course
boys.
you are. Of course you are. All right.
I didn't have enough money for Coke this week, so I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Bang will do.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. Yes, exactly.
So we're going to, like I said, we're going to be talking about campfire stories, but we're going to be also just hanging out, enjoying each other's company, watching Ernie do his thing. I'm going to actually try to keep the campfire stories like when he's in like a loading screen, or we know he's going to get that 4K, maybe start up a story. I listed 3 that we're doing. I know Jesus has something he's bringing to the table, but we're just going to keep going until we've got to go watch AEW. And or maybe like before that, because I got to get ready. But it should be a lot of fun. And we're glad that you guys are here. I am going to start with a campfire story just to get in the mood, so that you guys kind of know exactly what we're talking about, and what we're going to be doing when we when we talk about the campfire stories, what we mean by a campfire story. So just to start
We're
off real
singing
quick,
Kumbaya around the campfire today, guys.
so yes, campfires are one of my favorite things in the world. I enjoy very few things more than I enjoy being around a campfire, especially like after a day of being on the boat or in the pool. The coolest thing is to be able to sit around a campfire and kind of do our thing. So, and that's where campfire stories come from. It's trying to scare your friends, but so a lot of it is actual camp. Kids used to go to actual camp, and um, at night, this is how you entertain yourself. You come up with scary stories and sit in your bunk and talk about them, and it's a tradition that goes back a long way. People have been telling stories around the fire since fire was a thing. A lot of prose and a lot of fables and that kind of thing start around a campfire. So this is actually an age-old tradition that we are just continuing, and it's gonna be fun. So first, yeah, go
Before
ahead.
we start, I just put something up on the page here. It is our follow goat. We are
Oh, yes.
trying to go to hit 50, obviously, and yeah, we're at 14 out of 50. So
28% to go. We got this.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking hustle hard and hopefully get some people. We wanted to make sure that all of our technology was really in a good place before we started like really hustling to get people here, because we didn't want to have mishaps and things like that. So probably next week, going to really be flooding our socials with Death by Daylight stuff. Make sure you're following us at Death by Daylight on both Twitter and Instagram. We've got a Facebook page. And if you can, make sure, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that follow button for Twitch. We're gonna go ahead and let Ernie get what?
Sorry, Juan's that saying that I sound low. Does it sound better, Juan? I raised myself up.
Yeah, let us know because I hear you. I hear you perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Shorty got low.
So Ernie, do you want to start getting into a game, or do you want me to tell the story real quick and then you'll get into playing,
Yeah,
or
just go
loading
ahead
up,
and,
or what?
Get into that story, baby. Come on now, baby. Don't tease
I
me now.
can't, Ernie. I can't hear you, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, get into the story. Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I get you.
Okay. So this is the first story that I'm gonna tell because it's one that I didn't have to look up. And a lot of these stories I could have told without looking up. Like they're repeated a lot of times, but this particular story I didn't have to look up. And if you look it up, there's a version of this story, but not the one that I originally heard. So you may not be able to find this anywhere online. And that is the tale of Squish Thump.
I tried looking this up. I didn't find anything.
I'm glad you didn't find anything, because I remember the first time that I heard it. We were young, but I wasn't infantile. I was probably like 10 or 11 when Efren and Christian told it to us. It was just one day we were just spending the night at Efren's house, and we were trying to scare each other, and they told the story. I think they were kind of joking, and then everybody actually ended up getting scared. So I think it's a really good story. I think it's really well done.
I tried looking it up, and fucking Google kept saying, "Do you mean Chumbawamba?" And I'm like, "No, I don't mean fucking Chumbawamba."
For mine, it was like, "Do you mean Squishy Thumper?" And I was like, "How is that different, or like, is it the same thing?" I don't know, but that's what that was. So Squish Thump is a lovely tale. So what happens is that there is this couple, and they go out into the woods, and they are in their car, and they're driving, and they're supposed to camp. So he parks a car, and they set up camp, and but they're still pretty close to the road. And the ranger comes, and he asks to see their camping permit, and they give it to him. And he goes, "You guys watch out for Squish Thump." And they go, "What? Like, what is this guy talking about? Like, fucking, what is Squish Thump?" Because he goes, "You guys have never heard of Squish Thump?" I said, "No." He says, "Okay, well, so, it's a man around here that is kind of a legend, and it's not something that we tell just anybody, but it's just an old urban myth. We say it to each other. It's basically like saying, watch out for Bigfoot. It doesn't really mean anything." So they forget about it. They are they camp and they build a fire, and when they're ready to go to bed, they put the fire out and they go into their tent. And then off in the distance, very lightly at first, the man hears squish, thump, squish, thump. And he goes, I'm hearing something. And they're skeptical and they don't know what's going on. But it gets louder. It starts to get louder. Squish, thump, squish, thump. And by the time it's right outside of their tent, they're losing their mind. They don't know what's going on. But it's there. It's very distinctly there. And they can't hear anything else. And they're petrified with fear. They can't look out of their tent. Eventually, it goes away. The ranger stops by the next morning, and the couple is already packed up, and they look tired. They said, "What happened? You guys have a rough night?" And the guy says, "We were..."
Uh-oh, we lost Josh. He's dead. Squished up.
Oh, God. Squish Thump's like, "You ain't telling my fucking story." Josh? Josh? Oh, he's dead.
Am I back?
All right.
Josh?
Hello?
Don't do that to us.
Were you attacked by Squish Thump?
Dude, yeah, I was running from Squish Thump. This is infuriating. I can't figure out why it happens. But
That's what happens when you tell the legend of Squish Thump. He's like,
You better
not today.
Son.
You better not warn the world about me.
It's like I'm trying to get victims. Like, you guys are giving me away. And so
Good.
The ranger says, "What do you mean you're visited by Squish Thump? I told you it's an urban myth." He goes, No, this is a real thing. We heard it last night. Squish Thump, Squish Thump. And he goes, "What is Squish Thump? You never told us." And he goes, "Well, there was a man about 200 years ago who lived in a part of these woods, who was caught having captured a couple of children. And when they found the children, they were okay and they were safe. So they spared his life, but as a punishment, they crippled his legs. They broke his legs so that he couldn't go chase after children. Eventually, the bones didn't set and the legs began to rot, and they had to amputate. So the only way that he could get himself around, there weren't wheelchairs or anything like that. He grabbed a couple of bricks, and the only way that he was able to get himself around was that he would slam the bricks in front of him, and then he would move his body, and so you would hear the squish of his body and then the thumps of the brick. But like I said, it was over 200 years ago, and that's just something that we say in this to locals when it's something that it's a legend. It's not real. And the guy says, "Well, he was here. And so the ranger goes and he looks around, and sure enough, in the ground and leading out into the forest, there were marks of 2 bricks and 1 body. And that's the tale of Squish Thump. Did you lose me again, or was it just terrible?
No. I said, ooh, daddy, yes. Squish me.
Squish me, daddy. Squish me, daddy.
Squish me with your thumper. So, I feel like everyone's like, this motherfucker's back again. We're gonna deal with this all over again now. So question on the story. when he would be in the area, he would voice Squish Thump, or you would just because like the legend has it like you would hear a squish and a thump.
Yeah,
But
you would hear a squish and a thump, but like
oh, okay,
it's hard to make a squish sound. You know what I mean? Like I
like
don't know.
like a I don't know. Boom. I don't know. I can't do a thump.
Yeah, well, so there you go. That's why people just say squish thump instead of trying to
Alright.
make a squish thump. But
He's all like, yo, Ranger, last night I was hearing a squishy sound. He's like, damn, how wet you get her, dog?
you got that sticky finger. I was actually thinking about that fucking movie today, Soul Plane.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking outlandish.
With that-
movie would never, like, pun intended, would never fly today. Like, it just wouldn't.
Yeah.
People would be outraged. But yeah, so you're thinking to yourself, or maybe you're thinking to yourself at home, like, that was not that scary of a story. And I mean, I agree with you. But like, again, a lot of these stories are kind of designed for kids. And so there's obviously like horrific campfire stories that we're going to get into, at least one of them where I was legitimately like horrified. But again, I get scared by weird shit. Like I don't like.
And how old were you again when you first heard this?
I was probably like 10 or 11. And fun fact.
Did you hear this like at a campfire or like prior to like going out there to the woods and stuff?
It wasn't a campfire. It was, we were hanging out like in Efren's backyard on the trampoline. So and at night. So it was a campfire without the fire, which makes it, we were right by a house or whatever. It was scary. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was like, it was frightening. There's one of these stories that still I don't like telling it because it fucking fucks me up.
Oh, okay.
But that story, I mean, obviously doesn't fuck me up anymore, but when we were kids, it was scary. And then Christian and Efren heard that story at the Pokey-Roni. If you're not from El Paso, you have no idea what the fucking Pokey-Roni is. The Pokey-Roni was like a ranch. It was a Pokey-Roni ranch, and you could go out there, you could go like as a class and shit, and you could go like see the horses, and there was a petting zoo part of it, and you could go on like a little donkey ride and shit. But they had like an overnight camp, and Christian and Efren were at the overnight camp, and they were told this by one of the people one of the adults that was supervising.
Same story, or?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I retold it the best I could after not, hearing it for 10 years, but it was pretty close to what the story that they told me is pretty close to the story that I told you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, cool.
And they weren't really fucked up by it either. They were a little freaked out, like it was, scary enough. But fun fact, 2014 comes around, and the owner of the Pokey-Roni Ranch, her son murders her, is then caught, and then commits suicide in jail, which is scarier than Squish Thump, if you ask me.
Did you say fun fact?
I didn't say that.
I was like, there's nothing fun about that at all.
Well, it was fun for me because it's kind of delightful that something that fucked up happened.
Yeah, he squished her with his thumb.
Way worse than Squish Thump is the murder-suicide of the owner.
It would have been crazy if, like, after the murder, he was like, "It wasn't me, it was Squish Thump," and like he just stuck to that story.
Dude, and he's like rotting away in prison, and he's like, I fucking swear to God, like, I've already done my time, like I've already been here, I have nothing to lose by fucking sticking to the Squish Thump story. And the worst part about everything is that he's out there somewhere gonna kill again, and you guys have me locked up in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great.
He killed himself. Yeah. Rotting away in prison. That's not the only Squish Thump you gonna hear at night, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. You're gonna hear lots of squishings and a lots of thumpings. You spend too much time in prison.
You
That was my prison mic. The Dementors. So that's our first campfire story. And again, these are not.
Are we
Go ahead.
are we jumping into like more stories, or we're gonna take a break? Because I'm just because I feel that your story really leads up to somewhat what I was gonna talk about today for my story. And I don't know if you just want to get into it or you just want to.
We certainly can. I mean, there's no reason not to. I was just like I only have like a certain amount of material, and I needed to
Yeah.
stretch it. But like, I mean, if you've got something, let's go, and then we'll wait a little bit longer before the next one.
Yeah, no, and the reason I bring it up is just because I asked you how old you were when you heard it, and like,
Right.
you know, if if like Efren and them just told you a different story, because so I was told a story about this headless priest who would right there on Trans Mountain, he would go up and down at the start of midnight. It had to be at the start of midnight. He was riding his donkey, I guess. I don't know what do you call it, like his wagon.
Donkey.
And yeah, his donkey. Talking about the donkey show that you guys were referencing in your other story. No, just kidding.
I don't know why that.
Yeah. So he was being like ridiculed and picked on by kids. I don't know why they were on Trans Mountain. I didn't question the story. I was a child at the time. I was just thinking it was, you know, just a mountain top or something like that you traveled back in the day. So he lost control of his donkey and he fell off Trans Mountain and his head was cut off. So now at the start of midnight, he walks from the start and to the end of Trans Mountain looking for kids to find his revenge and to get his revenge. And growing up, it scared the hell out of me. And I had asked one of my other friends about this story, if you have ever heard of the tale of the headless priest who goes up and down Trans Mountain. And obviously a lot of my friends told me no. Like, what the hell? You're scaring the shit out of us. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. So then I asked my mom, you know, I let it pass, but then I asked my mom about it growing up, like a little bit later, and she's like, I would tell you that story so you could go to sleep because we're coming from your grandma's house on the west side, and the only way the headless horseman wouldn't get you is if you had your eyes closed on the entire ride through Trans Mountain. Yeah, how convenient. She would tell me, like, you have to keep your eyes closed. If you don't keep your eyes closed, then the headless priest is going to come in the car and get you and take you. And I was like, oh, shit, all right. So I would close my eyes and fall asleep on the way from the west side back to the northeast. And it didn't really click until I was a little bit of older, when I was, you know, still young, but older. I was like, Mom, like, why hasn't anyone heard this story before? And yeah, she admitted, she's like, no, I would just tell you that shit so you could go to sleep. There's no headless priest. And I guess now I'm debating on, should I tell my son that story and keep the tradition going on the headless priest so he can go to sleep when we're coming from the west side, or
I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't. You know what I mean? Other than the scarring him for life, and then having to like tell his friends, he's like, I mean, what do you mean you guys don't know about the headless priest? Like,
you guys need to keep your eyes closed when you're traveling across Trans Mountain. It's the only way.
Pretty important information, and the fact that nobody has told you is troubling, to say the least. You guys are gonna fucking die from the headless priest. What a story! But your mom was told this story, or she made a lot of it up.
I'm assuming she made a lot of it up because the idea, like I said, it only happened at night, and when we would go visit my grandmother, who lived in the far west side, like we would stay there late at night for whatever parties or something, and then traveling back, she was like, "All right, like you need to close your eyes," and I'm like, "I'm not tired," and she's like, "Well, let me tell you this story about the fucking headless priest who takes children." And this is what happened, because these kids were pulling him, and he fell off the mountain and lost his head, and now he's just searching for kids to get his revenge. I was like, oh shit! If closing my eyes is the only way to survive this, yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do that then. Thanks for keeping me protected, Mom. Like,
Dude, that's nuts, man. That's nuts. Like, what a. I mean, I don't. I guess I was like a super wimpy kid because my. I mean, I know I was. Like when I was that young, where like I would fall asleep coming home from my grandma's house, like I would have nightmares and shit. So I guess like my parents wouldn't ever dream of of
scaring
making
you to
their
sleep.
night worse. Yeah, they all they're doing is like putting themselves in a position where they don't get to sleep. So I imagine that's why they did it. Because I was a little pussy, but that's why like, dude, so like your son watches like scary stuff, you know, like there I know other kids too that like watch scary stuff without a problem. I was not that fucking kid, man. I just wasn't. Like, couldn't watch scary movies. I'd have fucking nightmares. I would have nightmares about shit. I would have nightmares about like the Indiana Jones ride. Like like
Oh, I only had nightmares about that ride when I used to weigh 500 pounds. I was scared I didn't fit on it, so I was just like, "Oh shit, the buckles aren't gonna close. They're gonna think I'm the boulder at the end where I'm like trying to chase the cars. They're like, this motherfucker right here, god damn."
Oh shit!
Uh,
Looks like we got Freddy in the chat. What up, Freddy?
what's up, Freddy? How's it going, man? What it
what up?
get it?
It's been a while, Freddie. But I remember going to Disneyland and telling the guy before because it's like it could be like a 2 hour wait sometimes, and I was just like, "Yo, man, like look at me realistically, like don't sugarcoat it. Like, would I fit on this ride? Just tell me so before I get in this long ass line and wait." He's like, "All right, bro, let me give you a tip real quick. This is how you gonna fit." I did fit, by the way, so um, I'm excited to go back now that I've lost a lot of weight. You know.
Fuck yeah.
For sure, I'll
Them's
fit.
the goals,
For
baby.
sure, I'll fit now.
Them's the goals.
I saw that boulder there, like twinsies. Shit.
Oh motherfucker! I just lost. Sorry.
No, it's good. I was wearing my my Mickey Mouse button up shirt that day. Only one button though.
That's some inside baseball right there. If you
There.
if you are unfamiliar what we're talking about, we found it's like a picture from an alternate dimension somehow. It's like a picture that like you know that it's Jesus, like you can see that it's Jesus, but it's just so
It looks like
strange.
Jesus ate Jesus.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say that. No,
You're
yeah,
like,
like
I was
I mean,
clearly thinking it, but I wasn't gonna say it.
you were obviously like a lot heavier, like you know, I mean, you were heavy, but like that, it also just doesn't like who. First of all, who was taking the picture? Because you don't look happy. Like you don't look happy that the picture was being taken, or like even like you suspected it. But also like you're looking at the camera, and then you only have one button.
Yeah, it
One
was. It
button is
was.
button right in the middle. It's not like the Cholo button at the top. It's like one button in the middle of the shirt is buttoned and nothing else was. And we've even had, I mean, we've obviously talked about it at great length, and even Jesus doesn't know why. Why the one button? What was going through your mind when that happened?
It was. I would describe that photo as. You ever see a photographer take a picture of a wild hippopotamus in the and they just catch him off guard and the hippo's like, "What?" They don't look happy about it. It just happened and they photographed him and now
Well,
it's on the
to be
internet for
fair,
life.
hippos are incredibly aggressive.
You should have seen me hungry back in the day, bro. I was incredibly aggressive.
I only want the flat wings. Um, I
We're
actually
gonna have
just
that
found out that-
debate.
yeah, I was gonna say I just found out that you can order just the flats. Like
Yeah.
not everywhere, but a lot of places let you just order flats.
Hmm.
Which we've had this
Shoot.
debate, like which is the better part of the wing. I used to be a drumstick guy. Like I was convinced that 100% of the time was the better part of the wing. But the flats people, not the flat earth people, but the flat wing people, Ernie being one of them, have really
Eh,
convinced me to cross that bridge the other way.
I'm gonna second that. I'm a flats person, and I think I'm the same boat. It was something I grew up with and learned to mature later on in life. I was just like, these flats.
Yeah, like it's mildly more work, but it's so worth it.
The reward is there.
It's saucy and delicious. Um, I'm a hot wings guy though. It's one of my favorite foods, if not, I mean, pretty high up there. Um,
Damn, Ernie being called a camper.
Yeah.
by who?
Get get good. I like the response.
Yeah.
Hmm.
On the after game chat, just because I fucking
Oh,
picked him
okay,
down.
okay.
This was the, let's see, the Meg. Like, everyone else is like, GG's, well played, and then this
And then just
fucking
being a dick.
shitty Meg with fucking perks that are fucking like super meta
Try hard.
is like,
Yeah.
like being a little salty bitch. But
I like how Ernie's like, look at all these try hard perks, and I'm just like, yeah, it's the same perks I run. This is some good perks right there, boy.
So try hard is that the same thing as sweaty?
yeah,
It's all right. I actually had a run in with, I was driving to my grandma's this morning, and I got into it. I hadn't had a road rage in a long time, and me and this guy were yelling at each other for a good couple blocks. If you're out there, or if someone can help me find him, gold Jeep Cherokee, maybe like a 2002 or 2003 Jeep Cherokee. The guy driving it looks like a fucking douchebag.
Oh yeah,
Roger, ready.
Motherfucker.
Just kidding.
Yeah, it was unpleasant. I'm super zen on the road now. I didn't used to be at all, but with my age just comes some maturity, and then today this guy fucking pushed me and I lost it.
Freddie said earlier that I don't know you all from some other world. Probably because Jesus is back on the podcast.
Yeah, like it makes for a different show. Like we were talking about it before we went live, and we were talking about how just different energies mean that the shows are going to be a little bit different, and we're trying to bring more people on, maybe not permanently, but I guess like to have a meta conversation about the state of Death by Daylight. We're trying to obviously be innovative. We're trying to do new things, and among those things is to figure out how to get people more involved with the show. Not just because we want followers and because we want we want to keep expanding the show that way, but we think it'll be a lot of fun, and we want to make our stream a place to hang out and to build a community. I think that we all agree that the coolest streamers or like the streamers you watch the most, it's because of the community. It's them too, right? Especially if they're good at a game, but the community, I think, is what keeps you coming back, and that's kind of what we're trying to do here.
Definitely agree with that. Without y'all, we're nothing.
Yeah, we're just assholes talking into the microphone, which people will tell you I do it for less, but
yeah,
just like microphones. And I don't like the sound of my own voice particularly, but
I don't either. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, like, you don't like your voice, but then I realized you being a dick. I don't think a lot of people actually like the sound of their own voice. I think there's something programmed inside of us to not like the sound of our own voice because we hear it differently or whatever.
The worst is when I used to. I was saying the worst, and you might have gone through this too, Josh, where when I used to make music, and I would hear something and like I would kind of just sing it to myself, and then when I would put it on an actual microphone, I'm like, holy shit, I sound terrible. This is not what I sounded like in my fucking head when I was just practicing this.
Or like in the shower, like fucking what's that fucking Donald Glover song? It was on the mixtape, and it's like situation in our lives. Like it's not an easy song to sing, but when I'm in the shower, boy, I fucking nailed that song.
I remember my first band's demo. I was just like, guys, you don't understand. I've been practicing to the Chiodos album all weekend. I am gonna sound like Craig Owens on this fucking demo, and they're like, all right, we can't wait. Oh my god, it was nothing compared to even anything like Craig Owens at all. It was terrible. I embarrassed myself.
Craig Owens has a bit of talent.
I embarrassed this. I was looking at the fucking producer. I was like, yo, dog, you got to fix this, all right? I sound like Craig Owens. I don't know what you did. I don't know what's up with your microphone.
You gotta fucking do something. Give me a filter or something. I need to sound like that, dude.
Auto-tune me, baby.
Auto-tune me. Dude, I thought auto-tune was like this simple thing, and it kind of is, but the plugin's like fucking $100, and there has to be another way to do this.
Something about them water acoustics that make us sound like Barry White. God damn.
Hey, baby. Fucking, I was like very into Barry White as like a young man.
That's weird.
It's so weird. Like little 13-year-old Josh, like, can't get enough of your love, baby. But I was super into Barry White. I mean, can't go wrong with a little Barry White.
Yeah, of course not.
So we're gonna go ahead and get into our next story. Oh, sorry. Do you have something else?
Barry White died, right?
He is dead. Yes.
So he's not on the podcast today.
We were gonna have Barry White, but he died. It'd be a fucked up thing to like do that with like every celebrity that dies. Like, oh yeah, we were gonna have. I'm gonna go to hell for saying this, but we were gonna have MF Doom on, and then yeah, it didn't work out. But rest in peace.
Yeah, it's fine.
He would think it was funny.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm still laughing at the entire situation. I'm not. It was just like, oh.
It's a Steven, guys.
Steven?
It's a Steven. Steven?
I don't know which survivor is which.
It's Steven from Stranger Things.
I just see. Is that what you have on your? Because I just have the follow stuff on. That's what I'm seeing.
Sorry, I'm a dummy.
For some reason, my brain didn't make the connection between Steve and Steven.
Oh, have you been playing a match this entire fucking time?
I barely started, like barely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're still on the screen, the other screen, BT Dubs. At least as far as I'm concerned.
No, he just changed it over.
Okay, maybe I'm behind a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna get into our next campfire story. This is one of my favorites, because it's one that like everybody's heard some version of it. Like you've heard some version of this story. This just happens to be like the preferred method or whatever, like that I've heard more times. But you've all heard some version of it. It's called the Hitchhiker. So I think that one of the things that makes a campfire story is that it has to have an ending. Like, I mean, all stories have an ending, but it has to have like a twist of some kind, or like something that you don't see coming, because it is kind of short and because you are just using, your voice and there's nothing to aid your storytelling. You have to have like a twist ending. So once these kinds of stories have made enough rounds, that twist ending kind of goes away. But then I think you rediscover it when you're like telling your kids, or like, that they haven't heard this story before, and you get to do that twist ending. So if you're going to know that it's coming, but we're going to tell it anyway. But I will make it brief for that reason. Like you're going to see the twist coming. Anyway, there's a young couple. And they're going down Highway 1 from Portland, Oregon to San Francisco. For
Listening to
vacation.
Chubby Checker do the twist.
Listening to Chubby Checker. That's such a weird detail, but sure, let's build on it. Let's build on
We're
it.
talking about doing the twist, baby.
Oh, I
Come
get
on,
it.
baby.
I get it. Wow.
Alright.
Good wordplay.
I was, you know, you're talking about celebrities who died, and there's actually a website called celebritieswho've-died.com. I was just gonna start listing off celebrities who've died that were supposed to be on the podcast, and yeah. Anyway,
Marvin Gaye. Marlon.
we still have
Brando.
We still have Dustin Diamond coming on next week, or is that not happening? Oh,
Oh, fucking scream. That guy was a real piece of shit. Like, people aren't gonna want to say that because he's dead now, but he was a real piece of shit. You remember he made a porno?
yeah. I fucking have it, dog. I have his dildo too. It's nice.
It's a little small, but it's nice.
You know, it's
nice
all
and smooth.
yeah, it's nice. It's nice and ribbed for my pleasure.
I think that has to be like the weirdest compliment. Like, oh yeah, it's a smooth cock. Are other cocks like super bumpy or like rigid, like rough, like sandpaper rough, like a smooth cock? We're getting off topic.
Yeah,
You're talking about dicks.
yeah, we're talking
There's
about
this
dicks
couple. There's this couple listening to Chubby Checker on their way to Portland, Oregon. I mean, on the
And
way
she's
to San
just-
Francisco in Portland, Oregon.
And she's giving him a hand job to his fucking smooth cock.
She's giving him a twister to the twist. His smooth cock. I was all talking about like telling your children this story, and that's the way you open it. Don't tell your mom I told you this story.
Give up. Keep your eyes closed before the priest gets you.
Keep your mouth shut if you know what's good for you. So it's like,
Alright.
anyway, this guy's getting a hand
It
job.
definitely has old school Death by Daylight vibes to it now.
Yeah, it does. I love it.
Alright, let's
So
go.
this guy's getting a hand job listening to Chubby Checker on the way to San Francisco from Portland, Oregon on Highway 1. And they see a little...
Can't even keep a straight face.
They see a
See
little
a
girl.
fucking headless priest on the side of the road.
They see a little girl on the side of the road, and they obviously, I mean, they want to stop and help this person. Oh shit! Freddie said Barry White's a legend. It's something about. Oh, he said that already, and then this story went down a side road real quick. Yeah, I did. It was. I wasn't prepared for that much backstory about what was happening while they were driving. So they see this little girl on the side of the road and they stop to help. And they are obviously like, you know, where are your parents? How did you get here? Whatever. She says that she is walking home and that her house is about 2 miles away. So they put her in the car and they tell her that they're going to take her. And they're driving down the road, and about maybe a quarter of a mile before they reach the exit where she said her home was, they look back and she is nowhere to be found. And they, you know, they're thinking to themselves, we were going so fast, there's no way she jumped out. And so they get off on their exit. There's only one house on the exit. It's a big property. And so they go up the driveway, and they're just gonna tell the people there that what's going on and that they need to keep their eye out. So they knock on the door, and this older guy comes out, and they tell him, there's this we were driving down the road and we saw this little girl, and we picked her up, and we were supposed to bring her to a house near here, but we lost her. We can't find her. Do you know anyone that lives here, that lives in the area? Is it maybe your daughter? And the gentleman kind of looks at him sideways, and takes his time and he takes his deep breath. And he goes, I don't. We don't. I live here with my wife. We live alone. But our daughter was actually killed about 2 miles down the road 20 years ago, and we're the only ones that have lived there since then. So I don't know who you're talking about. And the couple look at each other, and a spine chilling chill goes down their spine. And they turn around and they leave as fast as they can, and that is the hitchhiker. I guarantee you that you've heard some version of that story, right? Like,
I heard a similar story in at the hospital my dad used to work at. I used to go visit him there, um, and it was a similar story in the sense of he I don't know if it's true or not. I've never asked him again about it. It was he used to work in the he used to work in a section. They were called the carriers department. They would pick up blood specimens. They would even pick up bodies who have died on the ICU, and they would just take them to the morgue. All they did was transportation, blood, lab results, whatever. They would pick stuff up and then transport it. And he told me this story where he went to go pick up this body, and he's from the ICU, and he's going to take it to the morgue. And he goes in he hits the elevator, and this girl comes, and she says, "Hey, I'm going downstairs as well," because the floor with the morgue, it held multiple things. It wasn't just like the floor for the morgue. There was a lot of other things. I think even the cafeteria was on that basement floor there at Sierra. And he goes, yeah, sure. What's good? And then he talks to her briefly. He's like, well, why are you here? He's like, oh, well, my loved one died. And he says, oh, like what? I'm sorry to hear that. He was like, yeah, she died in this accident. It was traumatic. She was wearing this like green dress with this, and this. And he's like, oh, well, all right, well, that's all fine and dandy or whatever. He's like, sorry for your loss. His door's open, so he's about to head out. He looks to the side of him, and she's gone. And he's freaked out. He takes the body to the morgue, and when they get there, he helps transport the body onto the table or whatever. And then he says, that whatever that girl was wearing was the body he had just picked up, and he said he was freaked out about it. I don't know if that's true or not, but I guess this story doesn't seem any similar at all now that I'm thinking about it. And she was definitely someone's daughter, though, I guess, if we're going to compare it all.
I think that's why I thought of it. It was somebody's daughter.
If I have to make any more, try to find any similarities in the story, I think she was a Chubby Checker fan, and
had given at least one hand job
to a smooth cock.
To a smooth.
And my dad, it's like, and my dad has a smooth cock, so
Wait,
I think
whoa.
That's why I remember that. That's what it was.
That's why I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that there's like lots of those kinds of like that twist ending. They weren't actually there. Fucking, there's that song by Pearl Jam that talks about the like where can my baby be and that kind of stuff. There's like a ghost story attached to that. But again, there's like a lot of that stuff. So I think we're painting a clearer picture here of what a campfire story means. They shouldn't be that like super long, and it's like nice that they're not. It's like compact, you know what I mean? And especially like I consider myself to be a gifted storyteller. Maybe not today, but like if you don't really like telling stories, if that's not your thing, you can still remember enough to tell one of these kinds of stories. And it's nice.
I feel that one of the really great things about campfire stories, it's like you mentioned that they are very short, and I feel like a lot of it is open for interpretation to either scare yourself or to get over that story and to like, just be like, oh, that's not real because of this, and this. But I think when you tell these stories to kids, like we start imagining all these extra details of shit that was never even told to us. And that just, creates the story even scarier for us just because we're like, oh, well then I'm gonna add this context here about this, and this is why this priest is killing kids, or it's just
No, yeah, absolutely. And then like I mean, like I said, my parents are not. It wasn't hard for them to not show me horror stuff because they are the opposite of. My dad doesn't like anything that isn't grounded in reality. So like, um, those are my dogs barking. Sorry. Um, the my dad doesn't like anything that isn't realistic. So like, if he has to use his imagination for a movie, he's out. We're talking even like magical realism stuff. There's just like no way. And then you get to like Harry Potter, and he would sooner fucking do manual labor than watch that movie. Um, so he like, and my mom just doesn't like horror. She gets scared really easy. So they never wanted to show me any of that stuff. But like they were able to like tell me something like this, and then I've been able to add on to those stories because I like the horror element of those things. So I think you're right. How are we doing on the gameplay there, buddy?
I have it in I have it on the chat.
Yeah, we're not in a game yet. We're about
What?
to be.
One.
No, but like the last one.
Jesus.
Oh, the last one? I've got 2 4Ks so far.
Nice. Holy shit.
That last one, they gen rushed me, and then I slugged the shit out of them, and they
Yeah.
all died.
All right. 2 4Ks. Normally, that means that we'd be pretty hammered. But we're not today. We're being
And I'm just drinking a fucking Bang energy drink. Bang.
You're gonna be fucking wired, eh?
Let's go,
Well, I
boys.
Oh my god,
I
I
was
got the worst
thinking-
map in the fucking game.
Oh shit! Is that Chubby Checker map, huh?
What's the worst map in the game?
The Silent Hill one. At
The
Midwich.
Silent Hill one.
Oh.
Yeah, I fucking hate that map. I hate being a
I've been
killer there,
trying.
and I hate being a survivor there.
Yeah.
Luis, if you're out there, I really have been trying. Like we even talked about it in like the podcast group chat about doing a Silent Hill episode. It's just not easy. There's like a lot there's like a lot going on. In Silent Hill, the story is not by any means compact, and on top of that, it's kind of convoluted. Like there's like a lot of different shit that goes into like what Silent Hill is. You can't even really say like Silent Hill is this town that blank. Like you don't know. It's kind of hard to tell what the fuck it does. Like, is it hell? Is it some kind of place in between? Earth and hell? Is it? There's all sorts of like we know it plays on like your deepest fears or whatever, but then there's stuff that isn't. I don't know. But we've been trying to get an episode.
That's
together.
what Silent Hill's about.
Silent Hill.
Yeah, I never played the games growing up.
It's
For the longest time, I thought in my head it was a zombie game, like Resident Evil.
No, it's not.
Seems like
things
it's
that
far
you
from
fight,
that.
The things that you fight are like nightmare creatures. So it's like Pyramid Head. Like the first time you see him, he's like fucking something. And like he has like kind of like a humanoid body, and then you've seen him, but then like there's other creatures that are like just nightmarish things, like things that would play on your fear, but they're not zombies. And the stories, man, so it's Japanese, right? And so the stories are very convoluted. There's just a lot going into the stories. They're not always sensical. Like why is this part of this, and who cares about this little girl that they spent a whole fucking game talking about? But anyway, we've been trying to figure out the Silent Hill episode, and we're not having a lot of luck.
I'll have to buy Pyramid Head again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You've started over. Juan says cover 1 and 3. It's a cursed town.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the simplest way to put it, but it's not like.
All right.
Let me see. Like a cursed town, you think of like Salem. Like it is. It's not. It's just not that simple. There's so much shit.
Halloween Town.
Halloween Town, I think, is really, really pleasant compared to Silent Hill. Like Like they're not. No one's like singing songs in Silent Hill.
Shit. My bad. All right.
But no, it was a good comparison.
No, I know. I'm trying to think of something
Uh,
else stupid to say, but I haven't thought of it yet.
Rock, stock, and barrel probably wouldn't last very long in Silent Hill. But yeah, so we're trying to get that going. We haven't had a ton of luck yet, but we're trying to figure that out. And we are also figuring out our technical issues and our audio issues. I was supposed to have a PC by today. Well, I will have it today, just not in time. It was just a busy weekend. And so for sure, that what?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud. I
Oh,
was thinking out loud.
Is that perk to make it sound like you went and hid in that locker?
So now I know just not to look in lockers when there's the Claudette. So garbage now.
Freddie said, hey, have you guys played those Dark Picture anthology games? There are two ones called Man of Medan, and the other is Little Hope. I have not played them, Freddie, but we can talk about them a little bit because I know what they are. So, is Little Hope the first one? No, this is the one that just came out, right? Or came out last year, barely, was Little Hope. Yeah. So the Dark Picture anthology games, it's actually, it's not like the Dark Pictures anthology. Like anthology is like part of the title. And they both just came out. So 2019, and then was supposed to come out 2020, but another one is coming out in 2021. And it's survival horror. So like,
oh, looks like we lost Josh
died.
again. Josh died again. So he was talking about surviving horrors. All right. So what you're gonna want to do?
Am I back?
You're back.
He's back.
Okay. So yeah, the
last thing we heard was talking about is you surviving horrors.
Oh, Lord knows I've had to do that.
Yeah, Tijuana, Mexico. Let's go. Is that the cursed town?
They bit my nose off. If you've never seen Dirty Work, I can't encourage you enough to watch Dirty Work. But so a typical Survivor game, you're talking about Ark Survival Evolved. You're talking about Rust is kind of Survivor. Subnautica. Yeah, Valheim is I mean, very prototypical Survivor. This is horror Survivor, so it's kind of a mix of both. Oh shit, I missed a comment from Juan. It's very anthology style since most are different stories. 1 and 3 sort of go into its origins, but yeah, it has a lot of stuff. Oh, he's talking about Silent Hill. And then Freddy says, no, it's the second one. It's revolved around the Salem witch trials. So, yeah, so it's well, so the way it's described is like third-person survival horror. You need to like, there's like an RPG element where you, like in Fable or like in Dragon Age, or like you need to get through different storyline. Oh, I should have fucking said, what the fuck is that game in space? Well, that's the better example, but I can't think of the name of the fucking game right now. Jared loves that fuck. But you choose different dialogues that mean that you, like, your choices mean something in the way that you play, in the way that the choices mean something. So there's survivor elements, there's horror elements, there is RPG elements. Definitely something I'm interested in playing now that I'll be able to play on the PC as well. Horror games just don't do it for me, like on the console. I'm not as immersed as I would be on the PC, so maybe that's something.
This guy's good.
Dead Space. Dead Space Freddy, sorry, Ernie, is not the game I was talking about. Like, I mean, it's a good horror game, But I was talking about like specifically having to do with the choices and the dialogue and what that means. It's a huge title. It's like one of the biggest game titles ever, and I just cannot fucking think of it right now. Um, um. Anyway, so it will try to get into um um Jesus. We'll try to get into Silent Hill. We'll try to get into other horror games. Maybe stream them again, like me as I guess like a little bit Mass Effect. Mass Effect is what I'm thinking of. Um, I guess like a little bit of like a meta conversation as far as like where the pod is headed. I mean, Ernie's doing his own streaming 3 times a week at least. You should go check him out during the week when you have some time in the evenings. I think Monday you do it kind of earlier, no?
Yeah.
So yeah, go check him out, and then we're gonna all try to do like our own little sections, have stuff that we're talking about. So maybe when either he's streaming or someone else, maybe our friend Keith, is doing horror games, we can direct you that way and then talk about it here.
Check out my OnlyFans.
Yeah, check out Jesus' OnlyFans. He does dick ratings.
Yep.
But
Smooth ones, you know.
he prefers a smooth cock.
Yeah.
But no matter what, he'll give you a rating as long as you
Yeah.
join and subscribe to his OnlyFans. Actually, we're just kidding. I actually think you get like shadow banned if you mention OnlyFans.
No, you don't.
So,
Do you?
No, you don't.
All
I
right.
mean, maybe
Cool.
it's only like if
So-
you write it somewhere, but
No, you're fine. You can talk about your OnlyFans.
Check
Well,
out
I
my
just-
OnlyFans. OnlyFans.com/Jesus loves the little children. Oh, shit.
my god.
What?
It's a terrible name.
I mean, it's hilarious. Jesus, little children. Not a
He
good
does.
name
That's
for-
what they told me at church.
Yeah, I imagine that something like that is in the Bible. I mean, it's obviously paraphrased, but I imagine something very close to that is there.
Yeah, it just doesn't work for an OnlyFans name. My bad.
No, nothing. There should never be the word children and OnlyFans together. That's a good way to go to Yale. Anyway, we're gonna get back to campfire stories here.
Yeah.
This is my favorite campfire story of all time. It's absolutely rattled me the first time that I heard it, and then even when I was writing, not a script, but I was writing these stories down a little bit, like outlines, so that I would remember. I scared myself again. I was like doing it at night, and I fucking freaked myself out. Again, I get scared by weird things, so maybe you won't get scared, but here it goes. So a guy is on the road for work, and he has to go and drive to different cities. He works for the railroad, so it's just something that he has to do. He's going to check out these new routes. Takes him all over the country, and he has to sleep in a lot of hotels. So he doesn't think twice about, pulling over. He's tired of driving. It's the end of his workday. He just wants to watch TV and go to sleep. And so he gets out of his car, and he goes and gets a room, and he goes and unpacks. When he's going to his room, he notices that the first room down the hall where his room is like boarded, like not boarded up, but there's like you can tell you're not supposed to go in there. There's locks that are knocked off. There's tape, like they don't want you. There's tape over the the eye hole, so they don't, you're not supposed to go in there. And it doesn't really bother him. It does, he's a practical guy. It doesn't it's not something that registers to him. But when he goes to get ice, he can't stop thinking about it. And then he's sitting in his room and can't stop thinking about it. So he goes and he looks inside the room, and it's completely white. There's no furniture in there. There's no nothing. It's just a white room. He thinks to himself, okay, it's under construction, whatever. Or they're renovating it. So he doesn't think about it. He goes to sleep. when he's passing it the next day, he decides to look in again and see if there's any progress or anything made. And so he looks into the keyhole, but this time it's there. He can only see red, like nothing but red. He can't see the room. He can't see anything beyond what he's like thinking is like red tape or something. He can't see through the keyhole anymore. So he doesn't think of anything of it really. He just, they put tape over the keyhole, whatever. So he goes and he is checking out, and he asks the woman at the front desk, he goes, what are you guys doing in that room? I mean, are you guys renovating it or whatever? She goes, no, that room has not been accessible for as long as I've worked here. I don't know why, but they just tell us that no one can rent that room. And he goes, wow. He goes, why? What happened? And he goes, well, there was a woman in there that killed herself. And he goes, really? He goes, yeah. When they found her, she had poisoned herself and suffocated because of the poison. And when they found her, she was pale white, but because there wasn't air getting to her brain, her eyes were a deep, deep red. And that's the end of that story.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the end of the story.
Yeah, I know what Josh is going with it. I don't know. I caught it. It's
So what happens,
hotels.
Ernesto, is that like the second time he goes and looks into the keyhole, she's looking back at him like,
oh, Buck.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
fucked up. It's fucked up. Like she's literally like right on the other side of the keyhole, looking at him in the eye because that's all you can. That's why he can only see red.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one still fucks me up, man. Like it's
I
still gives me the
stay at a
chills.
lot of hotels, so thanks for that. I travel a lot for work, and I'm gonna be staying at a hotel probably within the next 2 weeks.
Well,
I'm
lucky
gonna go out
for
to
you,
Carlsbad
hotels typically don't have keyholes anymore.
That's true.
They've got like card swipers. That's that story. It's probably my favorite one to tell. It's short, it's sweet. There's not a lot of stuff to remember, and then the ending is obviously like way better than the other two endings. And I have one more at least that we'll get into a little bit later. I don't know how much longer we're gonna go. AEW starts at 6.
Yeah.
And we've got
Yeah.
stuff to do before then. So we'll go for a little while longer, and then and we'll figure it out as we go. How was the killing in the last match?
I just killed one.
Oh, they all got away.
That what?
No, I killed one of them.
Oh, nice.
But that map is tough, and that killer I picked
Yeah.
is tough to play with too at that map. So, not bad.
Who are you killing with?
The Wraith. What's Awe? Oh, AEW. It's,
AEW. Yeah.
It's
Oh.
wrestling. Freddy, we're nerds.
Wrestling.
All Elite Wrestling. It's I mean it is technically indie, I guess, but it's giving WWE a run.
Giving
for
them a
its
run for the money.
And for me it's better. I just like AEW better because I fucking hate Vince McMahon, so
Yeah, it's a lot better. Yep.
I really enjoy it a lot more, and more than anything, I'm happy to like pay for like t-shirts and stuff because I know that money isn't going directly into Vince McMahon's pocket.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. There's a pay-per-view at 6.
That's why we're
Alright.
doing this early today.
The what?
That's why we're streaming so early today.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Never get into it. I've tried, but too much to follow. Yeah, it definitely can be a little bit overwhelming, especially at first, because you don't know any storylines or what's going on. I get that, man. It's nothing like watching another oiled up man put down another oiled. But that's why I watch it. I mean, personally.
I mean that's
Okay.
kind of how everybody watches it. It's just
with Chubby Checker in the background.
Yeah, chubby checker. Good shit.
So it's gonna be my theme song
I'm gonna
when I
play
come
with,
out.
so I was watching this streamer the other day, and they were gonna play with the plague, and they were trying to say that she's like that she's hot, I guess you could say, and they dubbed
Oh yeah, most definitely.
they dubbed her the bubonic babe.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm with it. I would definitely. You see that? You see all those? You see that skin? That's ribbed for my pleasure, baby.
Oh, Josh's computer shit out again. He will be back in about 3
shit.
minutes.
All right. Well,
I'll give you guys a play-by-play of
guess-
this DVD match. I guess we do that.
I guess I'll just say some inappropriate shit for the next 3 minutes. All right, guys, who's with me? So my first joke of the night. No, I'm just kidding.
How's your day going, Freddie? And anybody else listening?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have any, I know it's gonna seem a lot to type out, but I mean, if you have any, at least any titles of any good campfire stories or anything like that, definitely put that in the chat. I mean, reach out to us. Like Josh was saying before, we definitely want to expand out. We would love to have more guests on the podcast whenever possible now. So yeah, we definitely want to hear from you guys. Make this all about you guys, because again, if it wasn't for you guys, we'd just be, a couple assholes just bullshitting on a Sunday, which I guess we would have done anyway. But it's nice to have some more people to bullshit with.
Most definitely, I agree. Let's get into this plague match and see how this goes. Let's turn some volume up.
Okay,
Have they?
I'm back. I think. Am I back?
So like I was telling you guys, and that's mainly why I hate Josh and I stopped doing the podcast for a while. And
I have to reinstall.
Oh shit, Josh. What up, dog? What up, baby?
I have
What
to
up, baby?
reinstall.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I gotta reinstall the drivers on my M Audio, but it doesn't matter because I'm gonna get the new computer. So, if it will just survive the fucking next whatever minutes, then we'll be fine.
Freddie said, "What kind of setup do you need to be a guest? You just need to download Discord right now, right? Like you could do that shit on your phone, or if you have a laptop or whatever, just download Discord. Your basic microphone with headphones that simple like that, man. You could talk off your cell phone too. So we'd love to have you on.
Lucky. Some people get really lucky in their phone Bluetooth headphone combination. They sound good, but some people it's abysmal. So it's kind of a luck of the draw. But Discord allows us to bring anybody in that that we want. They don't have to have PlayStation. They don't have to have PlayStation Network or PlayStation Plus, whatever. We can just bring anybody in, which is what they were probably talking about.
Are the
and
I'm just noticing in the gameplay. Sorry, it's just something I've taken notice since Ernie's been playing. The graphics look just so much cleaner. Is that because it's PC now, compared to when we were on PS4, or is it because?
I actually have them on low graphics, to be honest.
It looks really good on my end. I was just curious.
I mean, from the previous like podcasts that we've done, definitely, because the resolution previously was bad. So, yeah.
well, I mean, hopefully that also encourages people to come hang out and stay, because they've actually lessened.
I can put them on ultra, and the graphics look a lot more, but it's a little bit darker.
Okay.
But yeah, I like playing on low.
Fish out. No, you're all good. Do we lose Josh again?
I think we might have.
Oh yeah, I heard you off on Discord. Yeah, we did. All right. check it out. Pretty sick, cool. I gotta check it out. I've always wanted to do some stuff. Yeah, we'd love to have you on here, bro. You could, like I said, you could download it on your phone. You could just get on your laptop and just download the, I guess the, what is that?
Discord.
I don't want to call it an. Is it an app? I don't know. I'm such a fucking dad
Yeah,
when it comes to this shit.
Discord is an app, and you
Yeah,
you can put it on your computer. You can put it on your phone.
So yeah, we'd love to have you, bro. I mean, just let us know if you have a topic also in mind that you want to talk about. Just put it on the chat. Let us know, and we'll definitely have you on here sometime.
Well, and this is part of the reason why we wanted to make sure that things were working out before we started to really push it. But when we start to really fucking push the stream and Ernie's channel and all that stuff, then it should be, the community should grow, and it should be a cool place to hang out and especially to be on as a guest. Like I said, I'll be working on different equipment next week, so hopefully this stuff wouldn't happen. If you take anything away from this episode, let it be this: do not buy a Dell ever. Don't ever buy a Dell computer. They are the.
That you're saying
fucking worst.
Adele.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I was all like, "Yo, that last album, trash."
Ever since she wrote someone like you, it just has all gone downhill from there.
Sell out.
Yeah, but don't buy Dell products.
She'll never write a hit like Chubby Checker.
I bet you she gives a fucking good twister though.
She'll pog for show.
If you're Adele, if you're listening, what's up?
What's up, girl?
You can see me on the other side anytime you want.
All right, all right. Dell products. I'm trying to see. Did I buy a Dell?
No, you didn't.
No.
No,
HP.
I've had HP before and they're great. I had my HP laptop. I had two of them previously that were just fantastic products. Their customer service is great. Dell fucking sucks. Their customer service sucks. I've been trying to activate my warranty for months now, and I keep having to go through loops, and now my warranty expires next month, and I have to like I really think they're just trying to throw me off until my warranty expires, and then I have to keep this piece of shit. But yeah, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here with the fucking Dell shit. But yeah, that'll be over next week, and we'll be pushing the fuck out of the pod. So it'll be all on the stream and Ernie's channel. So the community should grow for sure.
You've always had a Mac or Vio. I have a Mac too, but it's gonna just sit there now that I have this PC.
I used to have a Vio. It broke. I don't want to tell y'all how I broke it, but I'll leave that up to your own interpretation. How much y'all heard from me in the past and what y'all know about me today if you're new to the stream, and you know what I've downloaded.
I'm not going to admit to torrenting on the air. But if I would have torrented at some point in my life, it would have ruined one of my PCs, my HP laptop, because I was just a torrenting maniac. Or I may or may not have been. In an alternate universe, I was a torrenting maniac. And I got some viruses, and then that was the end of that. So we're probably going to go after this game. Feel it kind of winding down here. And so a couple housekeeping things, and then we'll get into our last campfire story. Make sure if you have not already hit that follow button, please do. If you like us enough, hit that notification button as well so that you're alerted when we're going on. We're trying to do more stuff with this channel. We're trying to do stuff with Ernie and his channel. I will not be streaming on my own channel for a while at least, but eventually that's our idea, is to turn this into kind of a network. We're talking. There's a lot of plans, and I think that since the beginning, even when we were on YouTube 3 weeks ago, but through at the very beginning of doing the YouTube streams and all that stuff, we've talked about big plans, and for the most part have followed through on those plans. Some of them, and any plans we didn't follow through on, it was because we changed our minds and we changed direction. not because we have not been working towards those things. So when we set goals, we've been pretty good about reaching them, and we feel the same way about our next step. But you can't be a part of it unless you hit that follow button. I mean, I guess you could just come fucking view every time without, but really appreciate if you would do that. And we're always going to be getting better. We're always going to be getting better and doing more. Um, and so you can count on that when you give us a follow. That we're going to be working hard to be putting out the best product that we can. This was the campfire thing was one of many ideas that we have where we're not going to be covering just movies or covering the real life hauntings and stuff like we were typically. We're going to try to go in a direction where we have more audience participation, we have more opportunity for you guys to put in your 2 cents and kind of interact with us. So it's going to get better. It's going to get better, and it's going to be good, and we're going to be having a lot of fun. So I feel very confident in asking people to give us a follow. I feel like we're going to definitely earn that.
Yeah. I'm done with this match, by the way. Just gonna let him get out.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, so we'll get into our last campfire story, and then we will say goodbye for the day. If you have been hanging out, thank you. We really appreciate it. Again, we would be nothing without you guys, and so we really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. You can always go and watch our episodes on our YouTube channel when they get uploaded there. And this stays on for a little while, right? It stays on Twitch for a while.
Yeah.
So you can go watch the replays of this episode and our last one. And we will see you next week after this story. So the final story is a story that, again, I think you've heard some fucking version of this. I'm positive you have, but this is my favorite version. So there is a teenage girl and Jesus. And
I'm not going to say anything. You said your favorite virgin, right?
Yes, my favorite version of teenage girl.
Yeah.
We're gonna fucking hear about that.
Yeah. All right. Sorry.
So my favorite version of the story is there's a teenage girl and she's babysitting. She's being asked to babysit. So she goes and she goes over and they go, there's pizza money. Just make sure all the typical babysitting stuff. Make sure they're in bed by 10 or whatever. And so she's babysitting. She gets the kids to sleep. She's just watching TV, and she hears one of the kids upstairs fussing, and so she goes up there, and when she's passing the parents' bedroom, she notices that in the corner there's a statue, and she remembers kind of looking at it like when she put the kids to bed. But for some reason, it just caught her eye this time, and it's a statue, a giant statue of this clown. And she's going like, man, that's such a fucking weird thing to have in your house, like especially in your bedroom, like this clown just looking at you. But she knew that they had other kind of clown decorations in the house. They had, not giant things like that, but here and there, so she knew that there was some kind of affinity that these people had. So she goes, and one of the kids is complaining, and she eventually gets him to go to sleep, and then she passes the bedroom again on her way down, and she's thinking like, man, that's such a weird thing. So right around 11 o'clock, the parents call and just to check up, how are the kids? How did they go to sleep? How's everything? And she goes, it was fine. They one of them fussed a little bit, but everything was fine. They're asleep now, and I'm just waiting for you guys to get here. And they're casual conversation, and then she eventually goes, I just noticed, I don't know how I didn't see it before, but I just noticed your clown statue in the bedroom. It's really nice. I hadn't seen anything like that before. And there's a pause on the other end of the line, and the dad goes, you need to go upstairs and you need to get the kids, and you need to get out of the house as fast as you possibly can. We don't have a clown statue. And that's the end of the story.
I was hoping it was going to go on more. I was starting to get the goosebumps right there. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, well, that was the end of the story. Was we don't have a clown statue.
He's
Um,
horrified.
Yeah, Keith would be horrified. Yeah. So
Holy
before
shit!
what?
Fucking automatic timer lights just fucking went off right now. Get the shit out of me.
So Freddie says he just downloaded it and created an account. Where do I go? So Ernie will send you a friend invite, so that you and him are connected, and then when he can, he'll invite you to the voice channel so that you can talk to us. I mean, we're going right now, but later he'd be able to invite you for other episodes to get on.
You would just need to send him a friend request.
Or you could send it to him. Should I give out your Discord? Yeah, right.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out the hashtag on it.
Oh, your like player code or whatever.
Yeah.
That's creepy as shit. I had a
9702.
similar one with a caretaker at a church and an angel statue. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
there's-
I read the angel one as well, like the angel variation. I think that one's more believable, right? Because like, who's gonna have
Yeah.
a clown statue? But I like the clown thing because I think clowns are fucking terrifying. Yeah.
You
It's,
think
it's
the
better
husband,
than
like
angel
ever
statue.
in that story, was just like looks at the wife like, "Bitch, you cheating on me again? This is how I'm gonna find out."
With a clown? Is it
With the
Jerry?
clown? You said you were through with the clown.
You fucking clown slut.
Every time the circus is in town.
I know someone's giving the old rubber chicken to my wife.
Oh my god.
So before my fucking driver shits out again, we are going to go ahead and bow out for this evening. As far as length of the streams, sometimes they're going to be longer, sometimes they're going to be shorter. We knew this one was going to be kind of short because we do have an obligation. I mean, not an obligation, but we're going to be doing shit later. So we knew this one was going to be kind of short. We're going to plan on some to be longer. Obviously, 3 o'clock in the afternoon doesn't work for everybody either. So Sunday and Monday is our best day because that's when our player does not have to work. So it'll probably continue to be on Sundays, but I imagine later in the evening. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate it. These guys are going to say goodbye to you, and then I will sign off.
Yeah, laters, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out today on this early Sunday episode. We really appreciate that, and hope to see you next week. We'll see if we can go a little bit longer next week since we don't have to watch wrestling. And yes, Freddie, those are zeros.
I haven't said it in so long. Can I say it?
Yeah, of course.
Can
Fuck
I
you.
say it?
Yes, please
Ooh,
do. I love it.
Man, fuck the free world.
313.
We out, baby.
Well, Freddie, just make sure to send me an invite with that, and then I'll go ahead and accept it. And yeah, we'll see you next time. You have a good one, buddy. Anybody else listening, you have a good one, and good night, everybody.